Hello, all greetings. This is Gilles Mancillon. I wanted to come to you to wish you a good day, and I hope you had a good time in this Sirius Stargate, the Lion's Gate. We just moved through it, and today it is the final day of being able to catch that portal, and then the light that was integrated consciously or unconsciously will be coalescing into an emerald ray light, this beautiful emerald light that will be coming in by the eclipse on the 21st of August. So it is a very powerful time. Right now Mercury is retrograde, so it is a time to rewind, record, relax, repeat, rearrange, remember. So all of that, and on September everything will flow forward. We are moving through this great shift of energy, and we have to choose between harmony and drama. Whenever circumstances in life, we cannot go into the drama and expect to receive harmony. So when we see drama happening, we have to try to bring the situation back into harmony through our own internal principle of harmony. So there is many aspects of looking through this Sirian gate. It is overseen by the royal house of Sirius, the Lion Gate, the lions. But in essence, this time I was very busy because I'm reading or listening to the Keys of Thought, and it's my 11th reading. I'm going to tend to do 100 times, as he says, but I'm beginning to understand. So I've been spending a lot of time with him in the Great Pyramid of Cheops, in the Sphinx, and moving through into the halls of Amenti that were constructed below the pyramid was constructed above the hall of Amenti, and there are many secrets that Thoth reveals. So I've been spending a lot of time there, but it is not incompatible with being in this Sirian Stargate. To me, this year it was presented as a sort of a tunnel or like a ring system, like not a tunnel but a few ring system, and within those rings there were countless light beams and technologies and things that I couldn't perceive it all, but I could see. I moved into that sphere, and I could see the galactic center and many other dimension. I couldn't yet project myself to all those places, but I could see the potential of it. It was quite interesting. So I've been spending a lot of time with Thoth, and who has been teaching me a lot of things, very interesting things, memories, recalling secrets. Because a mystery is, he explains, mysteries are hidden truths. For truths cannot be up in the open, so they have to be hidden until man is wise enough to discover it. And so the truths are hidden behind the symbols. Symbols are keys that open doors to higher truths. And so it is important to find that in symbols, to open up the symbol to the energies that are behind it. Numbers, of course, and letters being also symbols, but there are many forms of symbols. I did solve one of a symbolistic I did solve a symbolistic I had this one planet. I'm working on this planet, looking for my words here. It's a planet of the painting of the solar system with the 100 major planets of the solar system, and with the symbol and name. And one of them is called Mek. And Mek is we knew that he was the god of Easter Island, and he looked like a horse. And then it clicked in my head. Mek is the gods, because all of them is the gods of the Easter Island, is the Arcturian collective. For all the gods of mythologies are galactic families that interacted at some point with the humanity, with the primitive men that were living there. Well, of course, those videos are only for those who are accepting of those beliefs. For those who are purely materialistic and have no such belief or possibility within their mind to open to that possibility, this will make no sense. But in essence, Arcturus was the divinity that were worshipped by the Easter Island people, and they were also the one that brought the horse to the earth. It was a gift from Arcturus. The beautiful horse was, and the symbol of Mek was a horse face. So this clicked into my head. This galactic portal is opening up our consciousness to new level of self-realization, self-empowerment, and also to galactic planes. For there are many galactic planes, 5th and 6th dimension, with many. We all have galactic origin and star origin. Thoth really say, well, you believe to be children of the earth, for you are bound to the earth, but you are children of the universe. As you let go of your body, you move into your soul, into the cosmos. So it is a matter of letting go of the shadow, not to try to feed our soul, that our soul may be fed from shadows, in order to hold on only to the light and move on and be free. For that, there are many. The keys of thought are very powerful initiator. I've only done it 11 times, but in terms of humanoid origin in this part of the galaxy, we can say first that the Lyrians were probably the original founders. They were called the founders. The civilization of Lyra was an ancient civilization, mainly humanoid, quite different than we are, but they're the one who founded Orion, they founded the Pleiades, they founded Sirius, and many others. In essence, in the Pleiades, they were trying to create a system where beings had no dark side, so it was very ambitious, but it didn't really work because rebellion started to outbreak of rebellion against that program, and so. But the Pleiades is a magnificent system. We will soon the Pleiadians. Most of our DNA come from the Pleiades. We also have some Orion and some Arcturians, and. The Orion parameter may be the one we need to let go of the trauma of the reptilian mind, and to let go of the desire to conquer, to use force and violence to obtain what we wish. This is what we need to integrate. On Orion, they've already resolved that parameters. They created wars for millions of years, but now we have to resolve that in the Earth for the first contact to happen and for the Galactic to come in. So the Pleiadians, Orion, Sirius are very. The Sirian humanoid came later. The original inhabitants of Sirius were the lion beings. So they were and there are also great families like Arcturus is an essential part of our ascension process. They are millions of years ahead of us, and they're wholly benevolent. They work as collective on all dimensions. They have ships here. You will always be welcome on Arcturus. Just call on to them. It is a star that can be found at the tail of the Big Dipper. It's a big bright star. It's a beautiful place. I'm sure you will have an opportunity to visit those places later on as we open up our possibility of cosmic expansion. Then there is Alpha Centauri, the star right next to us, but they're extremely advanced. Very difficult to. I mean, I've been there, but you have to have a really clear energy to be allowed to even visit those places. They're they're more secluded. They hold the 172nd dimension through the Phoenix, although they must be residing somewhere down. A little bit down, but they've been consumed into light and life for eons of times, and Arcturus as well. So maybe I'll come back to some of this galactic history. There is also the Kumaras, the family of Jesus, the paradise beings that are connected to that one family. There are many energies we can connect to. All the great archangels and all the families of the father and mother gods of our universe. They are the celestial hierarchy. We also had many interaction with also galactic, like the Olympians, so very high energy beings that then got involved a bit by accident, that they had to become humans, but they had amazing powers and knowledge and understanding. So the Olympians are they're from Cassiopeia. And then there is the Egyptian gods I also work with. Those are the old friends in most of the difference and conflict that those beings expressed in their mythology have been resolved since then. So you can think that all beings are somewhat benevolent or teaching you something on some level when you connect to the invisible world. The Egyptian gods were hybrids between animal and man. In many ways, they retained the divinity of animal, yet the dignity of man. They were higher ascended beings, but they came from many different places. They were just they were ascended beings that wanted to preserve the knowledge of Atlantis, the after Atlantis time, and that's how the Egyptian society was created, and all the great masters of even Greece were initiated in the Pyramid of Cheops, in the temple. The Egyptian temples, Pythagoras, Socrates, Jesus, everybody had to learn the essential from them. For that it was a very old. The Earth has been going through many shifts. There was before Atlantis, there were Lemuria. Before Lemuria, there were many great deal of history that is stored within the Akash. The Akash will open eventually. We'll be able to call and verify that. So there are many. There is the Andromedan also that are very powerful influence. This morning they came to me. It was very interesting. I haven't really. Those are right now. I'm just integrating my own level of balance. I'm trying to get 50-50 balance from being outer life and inner life. For when you move into ascension, you have to put more attention to your inner process than your outer process, but then you neglect certain part of your life. So it is about you have to balance it out. And in many ways, as soon as you put 100% of yourself in your inner process, everything gets into balance. It may sound a little bit paradoxal, but that's what it is. What's very important is not to be recognized by others. It's not really important. It's to be recognized by your source, by your creator, by yourself. Recognize your soul. How do you recognize your soul, your spirit, your creator? By knowing that it's already there. By recognizing God, you are recognized by God. That's the only way. God is always present in everything and in all things. All is spirit. All is a creation of the divine mind of God, and we all exist within a law. And there is only one law that men do not know, the law of evolution. Everybody works on some level of the law. The law will always reflect us whatever we need to learn, because the law is the infinite perfection of divine perfection that is being reflected eternally through the process of time until we get what we need to get. The law is soft and gentle. And unknown and invisible, yet it moves through all with the order of the universe. With everything is order in the universe. There is nothing. There is no disorder in the universe. It could not exist in disorder. For the chaos, the original chaos do exist, but everything has been put into order so that consciousness and spirit can exist within. Everything's been stabilized. And so everything is order. It is just a matter for us to let go of our illusion and fear and false belief, so that we can move into that divine order without having to struggle against any flaws in life. Because in essence we are children of God. Right now we maybe call ourselves children of the planet, of the earth, but then in essence we are children of the universe, and then we become children, we recognize God, we return to God, we'll become children of God with a great deal of privilege that comes along with that status of children of God. Yet we already are that. That is the paradox, and that is what we need to integrate within our mind in order to live in accordance to those new beliefs, new powers, new understanding. Thought explains that there is three things that keep man in fear and ignorance and darkness. It is the lack of curiosity in relationship to spiritual matter. If you do not seek, you will not find. The attachment of dark things, be attached to material things, and the lack of attachment to God. Those three things, if you can understand those three things, you can just free yourself very easily. For there is also the idea of unconscious fear. For the fear that we may be conscious of, we can deal with it rather simply. But there's unconscious fear that are unconscious: fear of love, fear of joy, fear of success, fear of failure, fear of the unknown, fear of all kinds of unconscious fear. So the idea is, if you know those fears, if you can see them, but you cannot identify them, just send blue or violet light all around your subconscious, so that it can be transmuted. For the subconscious exists in many sense. As we move into full consciousness, we will no longer have a subconscious. We will be in full consciousness. But as long as we're in limited consciousness, we have a subconscious that is more vast than what is conscious. And so this is how I've been asked to talk about hypnosis. And hypnosis is, in a way, to be able to retrieve information from the subconscious. From a mythological standpoint, hypnosis is the god of sleep, and is well liked by humans. When his twin brother Thanatos, the Lord of Death, is not really liked as much, but they are like twin brothers, and he has a son named Morphe. And so when you do hypnosis, you don't fall into unconsciousness. You move into a space of comfort, and when you're not disturbed by the critical mind, where you're suggestive when we are suggestive to suggestion, that we become sensitive to suggestion. Well, in essence, the whole world has been hypnotized. We are all hypnotized, otherwise we wouldn't be. Just to be able to believe in mortality makes us integrate within the program. But in essence, when we watch a movie and we forget we are in a cinema, we get into the story, we become hypnotized. When people yell at the TV because they're watching some kind of sports event, they're being hypnotized. And in many ways, television is a means. It's explained in philosophy in the book of George Orwell, 1984, that those are means by which to control the frequency level of the population, give them things to hate, things to love, and also to bombard them with fear and violence, so they can they become submitted to some higher power, because they believe they cannot do anything about that, when all of that is just an illusion. The only truth that is the love that they are, and the light that they are, for we all are light and love. There is nothing else. And the more we move into that, the more we are able to disconnect all those false beliefs and ideas, and those things will disappear in time as people refuse to buy them into their reality. We cannot go choose drama or harmony. Harmony is already there. It's already peace. It's already love. There is no need for some people like to feed on drama. Well, just some thoughts I felt like sharing today, but in essence, hypnosis can be very useful tools. It is a very powerful tool. It can be used in hypnotherapy. I've used to do it also in interdimensional travel. When we do interdimensional travel, we get into a light trance and create a vessel that's made of the energy of the collective group. Then we open an energy center at the center of the group, and we project ourselves. The vehicle is being transported into another dimension. So I did that. I also did that many times, and I'm going to probably continue to do those practice as time goes on. I'm going to do it more, maybe in a more structural way. Of course, you can explore your past life. With hypnosis, you can go and retrieve memories of past life. I'm also going to be using it as trance channeling. Eventually, I'm going to do trance channeling, which means to get into a trance and to allow higher parts of yourself, or higher guides, or higher piece of you, to spirit beings, to use your vocal cords and your memory, the words you have in your mind, to express their own message that is particular to them. It can be done through automatic writing or through trance channeling. Of course, we can do guided meditation using hypnosis. The Archangel Michael is one of the greatest initiators. It takes us into amazing, if you on the internet, there is amazing guided meditation by Archangel Michael, maybe the most. All the archangels are highly qualified to do that, but he's offered some amazing meditation. I recommend, if you have time, to look into them. Of course, hypnosis can also be used for humoristic fantasies or erotic fantasies. There's all kinds of possibilities you can do with hypnosis. In a sense, every hypnosis is self-hypnosis. So you hypnotize yourself, or you allow someone to guide you through a process where you get into that state of relaxation. But I was doing some hypnosis, but I kind of Spirit asked me to take a break from doing that, so I stopped. But I might go back to it eventually. I'm not really sure. Also last idea is I'm going to pull out a card for the day. The card of the day is experiencing. Is moving closer to the experience, having better experience, feeling more connected to all the things in life in order to have a deeper experience. It is to find the mind is always moving through angles and curves, and to find the right angles and curves that can give us a better connection to what we are seeking to unfold before us. Well, I hope this message was interesting for you. I got to run, but I thank you so much. I wish you a wonderful portal, and with this coming eclipse, I hope you enjoy all the time in between. Namaste.